Hari Om. Let's start with a prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhat Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. So we are now looking at Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman, after negating what I am not, and I had to claim what I am in the process. What I am is not direct, but it is an indicative, because whatever left behind, that which is nothing but I am, I can negate everything, but I cannot negate myself. I negate, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, but I cannot say I am not I am, because to negate myself I have to be there. So unnegatable entity alone is Satyam, because whatever that can be negated cannot be real, and what is real cannot be negated, and that I am is the one that remains after negation everything, and that alone is the truth, and that's what is to be recognized. And that truth is all-pervading consciousness, what is Nityam, Vibhu, that is what itself become Vividha Bhavanti, it became many. So in and through many, I have to recognize myself, and that has to be understood here. Now we take the Viveka Chudamani 224 sloka, and this continuing the analysis of Aham Brahmasmi, and the teacher says, Vishokamananda Ghano Vipaschita Vishokamananda Ghano Vipaschita Swayam Kutaschinna Bibheti Kaschita Swayam Kutaschinna Bibheti Kaschita Nanyosti Pantha Bhavabandha Muktaihi Nanyosti Pantha Bhavabandha Muktaihi Vinaswatatvavagam Tattvagamam Mumukshu Vina Swatattvagamam Mumukshu. So Vishokamananda Ghanam Vipaschita. So Vipaschita is essentially the one who is Viseshana Paschit. That means the one who can really see. Paschita means the one who is a wise person, or the one who is a real wise, or who is the one who has a real knowledge. All other knowledge is false knowledge. He may be a PhD in many subjects. In fact, Narada went to Sanat Kumaras and they asked him, what do you know? And he gives you a list of almost 60 things where he has almost got his PhDs in all those subjects, but still he doesn't know himself. Please teach me that knowledge, and that's what essentially, knowing which I know everything. That has to be the real knowledge, and that is called the Vipaschit, those wise people, and they are called Panditaha. They are the real knowledgeable people, and those people will not cry anymore, because that's what Krishna starts teaching. Says Asocyan Anvasochatvam Prajnavadam Sabhashase Gatasuna Gatasumcha Na Anusochanti Panditaha. So Panditaha Na Anusochanti, Panditas don't cry, and they are called Vipaschita. They are the ones who are wise people, and therefore Vishokam. So therefore they don't cry, because Vigata Sokam. Why? The Shokam is only for if I lose something, then only I cry. Most of the crying is, the child cries if he has something, he wanted something, and therefore he cries which he doesn't have it. That's why he cries. And we all cry only when we don't get what we want. But when I am the complete full, there is nothing more I want, because there is nothing else even to put it, because I am Brahman. I am Brahman means Brahman does not exclude anything. It includes everything. It's infinite, and therefore there is nothing really I need more, because I have the infinity. Therefore there is no more desire for me. Therefore I am happy by myself. I am Ananda Swarupam. Therefore, Krishna starts with the the Sthita Prajna Lakshana, starting with Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha Manogadam Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. So Atmanyeva Atma, he is reveling in himself by himself because he is Tushtaha, is happy with himself. Why he is happy with himself? Because the self that he is happy with is infinite self, therefore there is nothing really he needs. Therefore Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha. So all desires for any objects are not there because he has everything already. If I am completely full, then there is no, even you put a delicious food on the table, I have no more desire to eat because I am up to the neck, I have almost is full. So there is nothing really, I can't eat anymore even if you offer. It may be my favorite food also. So why I can't eat? Because I am already full. Same way, if I am already infinite and full, that is called Brahman. Brahman means fullness. That is, there is nothing limitless, and that is essentially Anantam. And that is what is included. Therefore, Vishokam and Ananda Ghanam, and its nature of Anandam, because there is no more agitations for the mind. Agitations come only from the Rajoguna, and the Rajoguna agitations come because of knowing the incompleteness involved, because I want to be complete. When it is already complete, it is Tushtaha, the mind is no more longing mind, no more wanting mind, no more desiring mind, therefore agitationless mind, and that's the mind which is pure happiness only. So even though it is a reflected happiness from the point of mind, but from the point of understanding, that is Aham Brahmasmi, I am complete by myself, therefore I have no desire for it. Therefore, the wise people, Swayam Kutaschinna Bhiveti Kaschid. So I am Swayam Anandaganam, I am the total in fact, and Kutaschitna Bhiveti. So there is nothing for me to be afraid of. Kutaschit, but there is nothing is there for me to be afraid of. That means I am fearless. Fear comes from only where is something other than myself. So with myself I am not fearless. Only in the deep sleep state there is no fear. Why there is no fear? There is nothing other than myself. I slept very well. So, but in the waking state and the dream state, I may be afraid because I see something other than myself in both the waking state and dream state. In the knowledge also, there is no fear because I see myself everywhere as this myself is the self in all. Sarva Adhishtanam, everything is nothing but my own self itself. And that's what Krishna says, Yomam pasyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pasyati tasyaham na pranasyami sasamena pranasyati. And sarvadhishtanam atmanam sarvadhishtanam also. So the one who sees himself everywhere and everything in himself, or one who sees the Lord from the bhakti point, everything and everything in Lord, therefore no more him, because only Lord is there, and therefore he is not away from me or I from him. So all that is involved. So only whenever there is a difference, there is a fear. So it's what Upanishad talks about. Dvitiyadro bhayam bhavati. A speck of difference also causes a problem. The second one only causes a problem. Udaram antaram kudute atasasya bhayam bhavati. So even a speck of difference will cause a problem. So it is the Advaita that is having a problem, and in Advaita there is no problem, because that's our experience also. In the deep sleep state, it is calm, quiet, peaceful, irrespective of whatever problems I have in the waking state. I want to be in that state. That's why people like to go to the deep sleep state, because there is no shokam. And therefore, kutaschinna bhiveti kaschitu, there is no one to be afraid of, nothing to be afraid of, because it says, Nanyosti pantha bhavabandha muktaihi vina Swatattvavagam mumukshoho. So, na anyaha asti, there is nothing other than this. And also, nanyosti pantha bhavabandha muktaihi, there is no other path for Bhavabandha Mukta, for the liberation from this samsara. Bhavabandha is the bondage caused by notional bondage of the samsara. There is no way of out, muktaihi, to get liberated. Na anyasti, the pantha, there is no other way. It is the only way. So when the Dakshinamurthy says the truth is a pathless land, but it is a path of recognizing that I am the truth, has to be learned, and that is a path. So path is, truth is a pathless land, has to be understood by knowing I am the total. Then there is no path, because infinity there cannot be any path. So by saying that truth is the pathless land, everybody quotes J. Krishnamurthy's statement, but without understanding what exactly it means. Pathless land means so it is infinite, and that itself is the goal, that is the moksha, and that has to be understood. For understanding there is a path, because there is a means to understand, knowledge is required, and that's what is the Vedanta points out. So Lakshartham has to be understood. So after understanding and recognizing it, so says Vina Swatatvavagam Mumukshoho. So Mumukshoho, the one who is the seeker of this knowledge. So this Tattva Avagavanam, this understanding of the absolute truth has to be made, and without that there cannot be any liberation. Bhavabandha muktaha nanyaha asti pantha. There is no other way other than going through the process. So what is the method? There are no shortcuts here. Shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Tavya means you have to do it. What has to be done? Go and listen to the scriptures for a prolonged length of time under a competent teacher. That's called Shrotavyaha. And that teacher is the one who has understood the Vedanta and also understood crystal clearly as the Aham Brahmasmi is understood, and therefore he can not only understood and living in that state, and also can communicate to my level so that I can also understand. He has to come down to my level, understand my problems, where the confusion is, and uplift me from that. That kind of teacher is the teacher that you have to go. And how did the teacher gain that? He himself has approached this kind of teacher, and therefore for that is another teacher has to be there who has exactly gone through the same thing from his teacher and all the way to the Lord. Therefore there is a Guru Parampara is there. That means the teacher to the teacher to the teacher, all the way to the teacher. Says all the way from either to the Lord in the Vishnu or Shiva or whatever, depending upon your says all that is from the beginning knowledge, and Shankara Acharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Varyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So when we invoke that all the teachers, all the way starting from the Lord, essentially there is a Guru Parampara involved, and also there is a methodology of teaching also, because the scripture knows and the teacher is also been trained what are the shortfalls or what are the problems that the student encounters in trying to understand this problem, where the mind cannot grasp that which is subtle, and because of the vasanas and all that. The teacher knows it, and therefore he tries to provide in such a way to uplift the student from what he knows to that which is beyond the knowledge also. So therefore, na anyosti pantha bhavavanda muktaihi vina swat tattva mumukshoho. So tattva avagamanam. So to understand the absolute truth, there is no other path. So in the scriptures and in the Purusha Sukta also it says Veda metam purusham mahantam adityavan tamasah parastat tamevam viditva amrutatva meti na anyah pantha vidyate anaya. So na anyah pantha vidyate anaya. There is no other way other than this. Says in fact Sunvantu visve amrutasya putraha. So the sage addresses, says, oh listen, Sunvantu Visve Amrutasya Putraha. He addresses the all the jivas, says, you are Amrutasya Putraha. You are the products or the sons of immortality. That means immortality is our birthright. We don't call it, the sage don't call it, says, hey, you sinners. He says, you are the sons of immortality itself. You are the glorious people. But you have to recognize that. It's a question of only not knowing who you are is the problem. So, Shrunvanta Visve, listen. Shrunvanta Visve Amrutasya Putraha. Ayodhamani Divyani Tanti. How daringly he says, you too, these gods, you are sitting there, you also don't know what the truth is. So listen to it. What was the listen? Says, Vedaha Metam Amrutam Parastat. Say, Aham Veda, I know what is the truth. I have understood what is the truth because of the grace of my teacher. So Aditya Varnam Tamasas Parastha, it is the bright Aditya Varnam, it is like a sun shining, the dispersing all the ignorance has been removed. The ignorance of, that's called the Mula Avidya, has been destroyed by proper understanding. That is called Aditya Varnam. And Vedaham, Aham Veda, I know now. And Purusham Mahantam and Aditya Varnam, I know that supreme reality, and which is Mahatma, the glorified, that Aham Brahmasmi, I know. It's not a knowledge of something, it is a recognition that I am that. And Anyah Panta Vidyate Yanayaha, there is no other path other than the knowledge. And that is the screaming of the sage of the Vedantic stage, and says, this is the only way. So what is the path? Is there a path? This is, truth is a pathless land. Truth is a pathless land has to be recognized by clear understanding that absolute truth is infinite and therefore non-different from I am. So in the I am inquiry, it's not sitting down I am by negating everything. It also has to include the Brahman, the whole universe is nothing but I am. How can that happen? For that only Vedanta becomes a pramanam. This is nothing but existence itself is expressed there. And that's exactly what Ramana Maharshi starts with in the Saddarshanam, which we quoted, Satpratyak kinnu vihaya santam rudyeshu chintarahito hrudakya kadam smaramah tamameyam ekam tasya smuti tatra dudhaiva nishta. So we have taken the Saddarshanam as well as Upadesasara as a text, and in the YouTube, if you go to the YouTube and ask Acharya Sadaji, there you can see this particular text also we have taken, where the existence part, how Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi himself interprets the whole thing in terms of pure existence, and Sattayeva Chit Chittayahyaham, and I am that Chit. And Isha Jivayoho Veshadi Vida Sattva Bhavato Vastu Kevalam. So the equation of I am the Ishvara, what part is equated is all Lakshartha being pointed out, because Vesham is not, we are talking about with the Vesham, we are not equating without the Vesham. That means we are removing the changing part, and the changeless part only we are equating. That's called Bhagatyaga Lakshanam, and that's what is involved in this. So essentially, there is no other path other than Jnanam, and all other paths what we talk about, Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, are preparations of the mind to, so that one can get into the Jnana Yoga. So they are Jnana Yoga, Yogyata Siddhartham. That means to acquire the necessary qualifications to enter into the Jnana path, or to understanding the scriptural study, where the mind has to be calm and quiet, and that preparatory is what is called, is given by the Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga. Karma Yoga involves where activity outside, because when the mind is completely rajasic, I have to do something, I have to do this one, you cannot sit around and this is all useless, we have to go and help because this has to be done. So for that people, so go out and do, but do it in the form of the yoga. That's called, Krishna advises Arjuna also, says even though the Jnana Yoga he is glorified in the second chapter, in the third chapter Arjuna asks a question, you glorified the Sthita Prajna, and why are you asking me to fight this terrible war? And I also want to become a Sthita Prajna, sitting in the seat of meditation and all that. Says there are two paths. Lokesmin Vividhanishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yogina. There are two paths that are determined. One for those who are already prepared, for them the Jnana Yoga. For those whose minds are not yet prepared, first you have to prepare the mind. That is what Karma Yoga. And that's what essentially the Karma Yoga was started. So Arjuna was asked to fight because his mind has to be purified. Whereas in the case of Uddhava Gita, where Uddhava wanted knowledge about Krishna, Krishna says essentially, you are already purified. You don't need any more of this. Go to Himalayas, sit and contemplate, and he teaches what needs to be contemplated in the Uddhava Gita. So there, he has a prepared mind, therefore enter into the Jnana Yoga. For the other people not prepared, you have the Upasana and Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga from the point of those who are essentially the unprepared, rajasic, they have to go, and as it becomes more and more sattvic, then upasana, and therefore contemplation, meditation, and slowly trying to understand this Vedanta Vichara through a proper teacher. All that is implied. So we'll continue this after in the next talk, and this Brahman is being crystally clarified so that we have understand what exactly is Brahman, where I stand, and how can I be Brahman. And I am the Brahman has to be contemplated and recognized or claim that I am that, but claiming is not that I am a millionaire without having the millions. It is clear understanding that I am Brahman has to be understood. That will go into the next talk. It says Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyati. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.